And before we begin, just a few housekeeping items. Please silence any cell phones and any electronic devices during the ceremony. And if you need parking validation, Mr. Tony Brock, who is over behind in the left, will collect your tickets and he will get them validated for you. The airport has graciously allowed us to have that happen. And bathrooms will be to your left. Miss Irene is there, so you'll have to get past her. Okay. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Miss Lisa.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed by the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And now a few opening remarks from Kathleen Connon, the Federal Security Director.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Katie Connon, the Federal Security Director here at San Diego, and also Palomar Airport and Imperial County Airport. I want to thank you for joining us today for the 2018 Annual Honorary Award Ceremony. We were graciously allowed by the airport to use this facility, which is beautiful. We get to see outside of our airport today. And it's turned out beautiful, and all our decorators did a wonderful job. And of course, we have some food too, so we hope you enjoy that. This ceremony recognizes and acknowledges TSA personnel and our partners at San Diego, McClellan-Palomar, and Imperial County airports for their exceptional achievements and contributions to the success of security missions over the past year. The mission of TSA has never been more important, and the threats we face today are significant and ever-present. The success of our mission requires tremendous team effort and the ongoing commitment and contribution of each and every TSA employee, and the support of our many partners at our airports, as well as the transportation community throughout San Diego and Imperial counties. I'm extremely proud of our collective accomplishments over the past year, and I'm grateful to everyone here today and those that could not be here for their part in our success over the past year and for keeping those traveling through San Diego safe and secure. 2018 has been a very successful year, made possible by your efforts, the TSA team in conjunction with our airport and airline stakeholders. Passenger traffic at San Diego International Airport increased approximately 6.4% this year, and we continue to grow faster than the national average. To put this in perspective, in 2003, we screened approximately 7 million passengers. Last year, we screened approximately 11 million passengers. On June 15th this year, our busiest day of the year, we screened over 44,000 passengers in one day. Throughout the summer, 40,000 passengers a day became a commonplace, with the biggest increases in traffic from Southwest and Alaska Airlines. And San Diego continues to grow. I'm very proud of our team for overcoming many of the challenges that arose this year. I want to thank the airport and the stakeholders for their support as well. Our baggage system issues were especially challenging, but the teamwork and cooperation was exceptional, and we all worked hard to minimize operational impact and find creative solutions. It's hard to overstate the additional effort, physical and mental, required to overcome the operational impact of baggage system failures, and everyone did a great job on that. Throughout the busy summer, we had the added challenge of training our new officers and hiring more officers. Our mission support team was terrific, and over the course of the year, we hired 174 new employees, and this represents replacing 22% this year alone of our screening workforce. Kudos to our training team and our many OJT mentors that allowed this to happen. We also wished well to 9 of our more fortunate team members as they moved on to retirement and in another chapter of their life. Our compliance team of 8 at TSIs did their part too, conducting 616 inspections and engaging our stakeholders in 541 outreaches over the course of the year. Additionally, the compliance team initiated 140 civil enforcement cases in support of screening operations and 78 cases addressing regulatory noncompliance. The team also assisted in the opening of McClellan-Palomar Airport by providing extensive support in completing their airport security program, which we also received help from the airport here in San Diego. So we want to thank everyone for that. I would like to offer special thanks to those who helped make this event possible, including the Airport Authority, again, for providing us the space, and those members of our TSA staff that organized the event by decorating and also doing all the work that goes into it behind the scenes, which is expensive. So thank you very much, and we will start our ceremony.
Thank you, ma'am. And now we will begin the presentation of the 2018 Honorary Awards, which will be presented by Kathleen Connon, Steve Blocker, Richard C., and Paul Leonard. Our first award will be the Partnership Award.
Good morning, everyone. As our FSD mentioned, a key component to our success this year has been our maintenance team that keeps our screening security equipment operational. And I'm pleased this morning to recognize the first of 2 partners of TSA. I'd also like to thank David Fox, who's the operational manager for Galvin, that's here and came to see the presentation. And I also like to recognize Terry Strait and thank him for his participation through the years. Galvin's no stranger to the TSA. As anybody who's been here and worked in the TSA knows, every day is a challenge, and the challenge is in keeping up our equipment operational. It's been a particularly difficult year for some of our equipment and the people who rely upon it. Our 12 and 13-year-old CTX 9000s are showing the same signs as a defiant 12 or 13-year-old teenager. I didn't write that sentence. And we've also had other challenges in the way of contracts. It's been on again and off again, and unfortunately we've weathered through all that. Throughout all of this, we've come to rely upon the valiant support of Galvin Logan. While Galvin has been a great supporter of our equipment on an as-needed technical basis, The full weight of Sam's needs were on his back this year, and he stood up to the challenge. Somehow, day in, day out, through bag jams, torn belts, power issues, broken computers, technology upgrades, Galvin's responded in the timeliest manner. Flip the page. And with dedication in helping TSA fulfill our mission. In particular, Galvin's chased down parts for machines that have been down sometimes for weeks on end, and he was a significant player in getting those parts. He supported new equipment installation. Recently, he was on scene for the 9800 installation at Baggage 2. Somebody reminded me that when the old 9000s were installed back in like 2004 and 2005, Galvin was also there. And I didn't know him that well then. Of note is his expertise in software and integration, which goes beyond the average field engineer and which we are lucky to have. Additionally, he's frequently adjusted his schedule to support numerous shutdowns, night work, and daily startups. In fact, you rarely see Galvin during the day. So, Galvin, you're the type of partner that others can be modeled after. And if you would come up to the stage.
Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce Paul Leonard, AFSD for Compliance.
Good morning, everybody. Not on the agenda today, but I think it's important to note that Def Leppard was admitted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame today. It's an honor to present a partnership award today to the next recipient. As the FSD mentioned, the success of TSA's mission to protect the nation's transportation system requires a partnership and support of our stakeholders. I can just yell. There it is. Was the Def Leppard comment? Hello? Excellent. So my flow is completely broken. We talk often when discussing incident response this concept of the four-legged stool, which is TSA, Harbor Police, the Airport Authority, and our airline partners. Conspicuous in this group is the Harbor Police. We rely on HPD continuously for support, response, and protection in an increasingly uncertain environment. TSA enjoys a great working relationship with this key stakeholder and partner. Captain John Forsyth, this year's recipient, is a big part of why that relationship has been so successful. Captain Forsyth has served with HPD for 30 years and 10 months, but who's counting? Well, he is. Currently, he's the senior-most officer with HPD, and he's again threatened to retire in February. So our recognition of him today is especially important and timely. Over the course of almost 31 years on the job and progressing to the level of captain, his contributions in support of the TSA mission and the safety of the traveling public and the airport community are many. Captain Forsyth has been instrumental in the success of many Harbor Police initiatives supporting operations at San Diego International Airport. He's managed the expansion of the K-9 explosive detection team to a total of 5 dedicated teams serving the airport 16 hours a day and on call 24/7. We can't overstate the impact and capability of that team in supporting our operation and safety. He recognized the increasing threat of active shooters and took steps to enhance the effectiveness of the department's patrol rifle team by ensuring on-duty officers had the capability to deploy appropriate response measures. Captain Forsyth played a key role and helped make possible the airport's first ever full-scale active shooter exercise, engaging participants from more than 4 responding agencies. He also identified a technical challenge in the ability to prosecute individuals entering the checkpoint with weapons not yet discovered by the TSA screening process. He worked closely with the TSA, the airport, and the city attorney to resolve the issue, having a very direct effect on the safety of our screening officers. Captain Forsyth has partnered with TSA in the best tradition of law enforcement officers, and I'll add the United States Marines, if I may. He possesses a rare combination of command presence, an approachable manner, and a great sense of humor. And if I can turn the page or get on with it. Throughout his tenure, he interacted comfortably with our TSOs at the checkpoint as well as our leadership, and was always available and willing to provide support. John's offered sage advice, readily shared his insight and expertise, and was always supportive of our mission. He is appreciated now, and he will be missed when he retires in February. Please join me in congratulating Captain John Forsyth as the recipient of the
May I say one?
Of course.
You mind?
Please.
The one thing I'd like to say, I've seen several faces in the room that I've actually worked with since the day you guys got here at TSA, some even before TSA. And there are two jobs here at the airport that are probably the toughest jobs in the entire airport, and people don't pay that close enough attention to them. One is our traffic officers that are out on the curb. Nobody's happy to see them. Second is passenger screeners. Nobody's happy to see you, right? And you guys do a great job. People come up there very unhappy. You still got to put that happy face on every day, and I think you guys do a fantastic job at doing that. At least in my job, when I roll up on the scene, at least half the people are happy to see me, right? The ones who go to jail, not so much. The ones who called us are happy. You know, the majority of the people are not that happy to see you. And you guys do a fantastic job of putting on that good, happy face and doing your job to make sure that we're safe in our skies and around our airports. And I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Very tough job. Thank you very much for all you do. And someone apparently is trying to get into my line of work. A couple of you guys, I guess, jumped on a suspect today that was beating up on his wife, and we came over. We got to mop it up. But again, you guys are moving into my territory, I guess. But we really, really appreciate what you do. Thank you very much.
Our next award is for core values.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Steve Blocker, the Assistant Federal Security Director for Screening. And our first recipient of the Core Value Award won't be present this morning, but I can't overpass him and not talk about Todd. Todd Pellio is one of our supervisors. He works in our admin team upstairs and doing a lot of work behind the scenes. But at any time that we need another supervisor to come down and help on a checkpoint, help out in baggage, any of the locations throughout the airport, Todd just scurries down to that location and takes over. He's a person of high integrity in everything that he does, and he's reliable. He always is prepared, when he's called upon, and we can't say enough good things about Todd. Other than when he's riding his bicycle, and for those that know him, he's into those stunt riding things. And I won't talk about that part now. He's tactful, polite, and treats others with dignity and respect, and he will always try to resolve a problem where he can at the lowest level, and that's appreciated. He just stands for everything that we stand for as an agency, and his commitment to TSA and our mission is unsurpassed. So, again, if we could give a round of applause for Todd, even though he's not here. Our next one is here. Don't look away. Melissa Hill. She is a valued member of Checkpoint 2, first off, and that's Southwest, and everybody, all of you guys know Checkpoint 2 and the joys of working there. You either love it or you hate it. But she has another person with high integrity She helps coach officers when they're in their OJT. She works on our threat mitigation team, running drills, testing people, and guiding them. She's behind the scenes, helping folks, working with them, setting them straight. Just a positive mentor, I can't say enough. She's a subject matter expert in everything that she does. It's unbelievable what she does for screening as a whole. Saw her just the other day up, going to go around putting on her civvies and going to go do some testing and training. And she does all this without complaining. She's flexible. And again, I can't say enough about Melissa. Without people like Melissa, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today as well as we're doing it. Melissa, if you could come up, please. Our next one recipient is Jason Cuevas, and he's getting an award for his commitment to leadership. Jason is one of our National Deployment Force officers who travels all around the country, usually places like Sitka, Alaska, where everybody wants to go in the middle of winter, where the high today is probably -10. He was nominated, believe it or not, by an officer that transferred here from another airport, because his commitment to leadership. When this person was transferring in, Jason took extra time to help him get adjusted to San Diego and the ways here, showing him how to do things here. That, just airport to airport, there's always some administrative difference or something else. Jason embodies TSA. He is working at a level much higher than a supervisor. His knowledge of the checkpoint and baggage operations is unbelievable. And I wish he could be here because he's always willing to go the extra mile. I hear from him when he's out on the road. He gives me ideas from other airports. He is committed to leadership. So if we could, a round of applause for Jason. And next up, to present our other leadership award will be Richard Z., our AFSD Mission Support.
So there were numerous awards that were presented, nominees for the Leadership Award, and certainly all of them are deserving. And what the panel did was to make one selection from the screening workforce and one from mission support. And the Leadership Award, the second Leadership Award then this morning goes to Supervisory CCO William Jackson. Now, everybody knows William. He's a stalwart in the coordination center, and many people rely upon him. He's distinguished himself for meritorious service. Uh-oh. Okay. So, well, his meaningful leadership and dedication to duty. Throughout his career, William set the standard for excellence in transportation security. He's an excellent team leader and highly respected by all team members. This has been achieved by supporting the team closely while still enabling them to work independently, leading to high morale. I'll also add that he's a superb coach and mentor to all that come across his station. William will always make time for his staff, sought out by other departments within the TSA. I know that Steve and others call and we'll speak to William for anything that regards supporting their operations, as well as regulatory protocols. He's set high standards for the team. He's often consulted upon by the FSD, and he's comfortable moving around the floor and consulting all of us and just simply advising us of what's happening. So, William, it's really my honor. Where are you? I saw him. William, it's really, come on up. It's really my pleasure, after all these years, to be able to recognize you. So the next presentation is the team award. This one is particularly interesting for me because this nomination came from the field. It came from the customer, if you will. And this award goes to the security training instructors, our STIs. In fact, I'm going to read verbatim what came from the field. We didn't write this up. This came, from our customers. Our STIs are constantly striving to help us become better as officers and well informed of changes in the SOP. They have gone out of their way to help us and those on the national deployment team whenever training is required. Always watching out for us, they work hard to prepare our new officers for the checkpoint and for their time in FLITSI. After their initial training with Mary, Lori, and Ann, many come to the checkpoint confident in their role in the TSA mission. They should be recognized and rewarded for their consistent performance and hard work. So really, the STIs, it pleases me that this came from those of you who wear the blue shirt. So Mike Mungan, if you would please come up to accept the team award plaque on behalf of the STIs. If you would remain here. STIs, and I'm going to say to the audience, please hold your applause, but STIs, as I call your names, please come forward and line up in front of the stage. Now come as I call you because that's the way your certificates will be given out. So Jennifer Albundez. That's right, you can go ahead and apply. Keith Dean. There you go. Keith Dean, Cesar Gallego. I saw Cesar. Andres Lozano. Lori Rodriguez. Hey. Asheza Kasikan. Arsaja recently returned from FLITSI. She also had her baby with her. Mike Tolley. I didn't see Mike. Yeah. Mary Garcia. And look, they're not STIs, but I can't do this without asking Ann and Eva to come on. Okay.
We want more.
The next team award goes to the Coordination Center, an entity that's also known throughout our TSA airport. Our San Diego Coordination Center team consistently performs throughout the year in support of all TSA activities in the region. Consisting of 11 master CCOs and 3 supervisory CCOs, the team has been the backbone for many administrative tasks in addition to ensuring screening operations, has access to the tools to ensure security activities are managed with the utmost detail. I'll also add, their mission, we have a little bit of mission creep, and always, things are coming in and they take on additional tasks. Throughout the year, this team has shown what teamwork is all about. Each member is dedicated to accomplishing the mission and steps in to cover additional tasks without hesitation. The team is called upon to solve problems and to deal with customer service issues on a daily basis, and to do so with superb efficiency and expert knowledge of applicable TSA directives and local guidance. Whenever Ann goes on leave, or Tony goes on leave, or Everett goes on leave, you know who they say to call? It's the Coordination Center, all right, because they're here 24/7. So please join me both in thanking and congratulating the members of our Coordination Center for their hard work throughout the year. And now I'm going to ask Cliff Dacey, who's a Transportation Security Manager, who is acting as the Coordination Center Manager for this tour. He's going to come up and accept the Team Award plaque on behalf of the CCOs. So first we'll present the plaque to Cliff. Okay, I'm going to name our CCOs, but only 2 of them are here because the others are on duty. All right. So the team members, if they were here, we would have Gregory Ford, C.C. Frank, Ricardo Gonzalez, Marco Heredia. Marco, would you come on up? I saw you. Jocelyn Jimenez, Janisha Lewis, Rodney Nettles, Laura Spidell, Christopher Yu, Joe Zaitz, and William Jackson. Come on up too for this photo. And Deanna Wilkins. Oh, we have another one. This is one of 3 Unsung Hero Awards, and as long as I'm standing here, I may as well go ahead and do this one. This goes to Expert, or ESTI, Lori Rodriguez. Lori has provided exemplary dedication to the development and implementation of new technologies, programs, and protocols for the TSA throughout FY 2018. As the primary instructor and coordinator of specialized training, Lori has been on the forefront of new security systems training. Okay. A highly regarded subject matter expert in baggage system technology and equipment operations, she's developed a national reputation as an expert in her field and has created a climate of excellence for San Diego among visiting contractors and TSA instructors. Her personal vigor and energy, coupled with technical systems acumen, make her the most sought-out officer with which she networks for agency instructors, technical contractors, TSA managers, and local airport representatives. Suffice it to say that Lori really is an authority, and many, many people rely upon her to consult them to get their jobs done. Highly regarded for her security procedures knowledge, vast experience as an ESTI, and former supervisor, she contributes her operational expertise in support of agency operational testing, provides guidance for alarm resolution protocols. And as everyone knows, Laura, she's got boundless energy, enthusiasm to all of her assignments and projects. So Lori, would you please come on up? So now we'd like to have Steve Blocker come on back up for the next presentation.
All right. As Rich said, these are our unsung heroes, and I can't talk enough about all the people that work behind the scenes, especially in screening, that do things all day, every day, on the checkpoint or in check bag, and then quickly flip over and do another little side job for us. That really gets in the way of them doing other things. And they run around the airport, and they do it with minimal supervision. And the first one that I'd like to recognize is Lead Transportation Security Officer, Azalea Cappuccino. She is one of our safety action team members. She goes behind the scenes, like I said, and helps put out safety fires all throughout the airport. Countless supervisors and employees have correctly been able to fill out the extensive, this is the federal government paperwork that we have to do when somebody gets hurt on the job. It's not a lot, maybe that thick. But she's a subject matter on the CA1 injury reports. She coaches the STSOs, her supervisors, those that should be in charge of her, and how to properly complete these forms. She does it with tact and dignity. She makes everybody feel good. And most importantly, she's making sure that our officers get taken care of behind the scenes when they do get hurt. Because as everybody knows that does this, they're not checking their bags as much as they used to, although sometimes it doesn't feel like that. But the carry-ons are now weighing a ton. So, on the checkpoint, we constantly have people getting hurt. So, Zaya, if you could come on up, please. Our next unsung hero is Tempest Allen. I'm going to say unbelievably nice and remarkably thorough. She is a machine. She's constantly coaching our new hires. She, I think, recently had 2 going at the same time. She works behind the scenes, getting them trained, answering their questions, getting them through timely on their coaching and OJT process. Her communication skills are so strong, and she easily communicates with any type of person that she has to make sure that the job is done and that they understand what needs to be done for their job. She takes those new hires it's overwhelming. Let's be real. You come in, you get a quick class on how to do a pat down, how to do an ETD machine, what these images are supposed to mean when you're looking at them on the x-ray, and she explains it on thoroughly. And when we get done with an officer that's been under her charge, they're locked on and ready to go and provide safe travel. So Tempest, if you could come on up, please. Back up for our next award is Rich Z.
So the selection of and narrowing down the field for this award, as well as other awards, is difficult because you're taking one employee, in our case of mission support, we're calling that person the employee of the year, not of the quarter, not of the 6 months, but of the entire year. So this was a difficult choice, but that person, the mission support employee of the year, goes to Master CCO Marco Heredia. Marco, he's been a key member of the Coordination Center for 7 years during a period of multitude of changes of supervision, and we did go through a lot of change. Supervisors, members of the team, management, senior leadership. I don't know how many CCMs that he's gone through. He's been a key to bridging the gaps, and he's relied upon to provide the continuity, if you will. His contributions and dedication to helping the Coordination Center succeed are evident in how he approaches each day. The Coordination Center has both consistent and mundane tasks to complete alongside the numerous surprise issues that arise on a near constant basis. They field calls from HPD, they field calls from the airport, they field calls from our executive offices and our headquarters. And always somebody is there. They know that they're representing the FSD as they pick up the phone and establish that connection. He's able to react to any coordination center tasking, even if it means switching them in midstream. Personally, what I like about Marco is he's just steady and calm. Whenever he needs to report something that's either awkward or difficult, he's got the same calm, steady voice. And that keeps us from ratcheting up our emotions, if you will, and any anxiety. So he's comfortable dropping in, whether to see me or drop over to the FSD to reach, or rather to present oftentimes bad news when he's got to come over and see the FSD. So Marco, you're richly deserving of this award, so come on up. Now our next presenter is Mr. Paul Leonard.
Okay. It is again an honor for me to present the award for TSI of the Year. This year's recipient is Robert Resico. Over the course of 2018, Robert has performed his duties and contributed to the success of the compliance team in a manner that has distinguished himself among a group of high-performing professionals. It is notable that his selection for this award was based on nominations by both supervision and his peers, which is really a well-deserved and I think the highest form of compliment. As one of two of our surface inspectors on the sand team, Robert had a full load of inspections and outreaches to accomplish during the year. He exceeded his work requirement and accomplished a number of demanding compliance activities. His positive attitude and enthusiasm for our mission was evident as he continuously stepped up to take on critical projects and last-minute requirements. Robert accepted responsibility for the truly thankless job of purchase card holder and handled all purchase activities for compliance. And he did it with a smile, I might add. Robert has also taken on a leadership role in supporting the San Diego Regional Transportation Security Working Group and does the lion's share of the work in preparing the venue and promoting participation of the members. This is an especially important group in our area. It's one of few, if you will, of the working groups that have been put together. It involves stakeholders not only from law enforcement, but from all the surface activity, the surface entities in our AOR. And Robert's been a huge promoter of the working group and done a great job putting that together. When the Office of Security Policy and Industry Engagement, affectionately known as OSPI, was unable to provide a representative for a First Observer program that was to be delivered to the California Association of School Transportation Officials, Robert stepped in, provided a great briefing and training, and received accolades from both the participants and OSPI. He stepped up again when Sand Compliance received a last-minute notice, again from OSPI, that they would be conducting a cybersecurity workshop in San Diego during the last week of the fiscal year. Robert found time, in spite of the year-end workload, to do most of the heavy lifting related to this event. He communicated the event, attended the event, and he was instrumental in the workshop success. These are just a few of the things that Robert does willingly. He's a team player, contributes significantly. He's a pleasure to work with. He's earnest, dedicated, and an effective TSI. He's performed in an outstanding way over the course of the year and deserving of recognition as our 2018 TSI of the Year. Please thank me. And now I'd like to bring Steve Blocker back up to the podium.
I will say that as I look out over here, I've really got to up my sock game. Especially if I was ever going to get to sit in the front row. It's too traditional. So we have an award that's pretty unique, and oftentimes we don't get to give this award out because of, really, I'll call it almost the mundane work that we do. But this year we had an event where the employee shuttle bus was coming in and was involved in a serious traffic accident out here on Harbor Drive. And right away on that bus, STSO Donnie Schuster was in there, and he stepped up to help others, even though himself he had sustained some injuries later on that night. Even though he tried to come to work, he had to go to the hospital, concussion if I remember right. And but he grabbed a nearby clipboard, started to assess who was injured, started almost set up a triage as it was going, called and made the report to CNCC, and then helping the shuttle bus driver get the stuck doors open, on and on. He directed the non-injured people to one place and took care of those that were injured. So he really stepped up to the plate. That's the signs of a true leader, that when, the going gets tough, the old saying is, the tough get going, and Donnie got going that day. Problem is now we can't get other employees to ride the shuttle bus with him. But we're working on that. But Donnie, if you could come on up, please. When things like that happen, it's unfortunate, but Donnie in uniform stepped up and did what he should do, and I can't thank you enough, so I really appreciate that. Next, we have our Transportation Security Manager of the Year, and that goes to Sandra Boyd. And I'm going to, right out here on the paper, it says she's pretty amazing, and I have to agree. Sandra has kept her cool and maintained a professional, respectful, and kind demeanor, even during the most trying of times. Her example is inspirational and one we can all strive to emulate. She communicates her expectations early and concisely, so there is no guesswork while planning the day at our checkpoint. She does this in a way that makes employees feel like an important part of the team, and while showing empathy and concern. She's coming up through the ranks, and she knows the jobs that are going on, and she cares about her folks. She leads from the front with all the issues that we've had this year and baggage and everything. Sandra's been out there leading the charge, getting things going, and communicating with us on the other end of the phone, and as we kind of get in her way. Cool thing about Sandra is she always has a smile. She's smiling right now. Getting bigger as we go. That, and she was a Marine Sergeant MP, so. But she can take on anything. She's recently taken on a new challenge for us in screening, and she's setting that bar even higher. So I think this one is very much deserved. Sandra, if you could come up, please. Our supervisor of the year is STSO Charles Hardy. He demonstrates extraordinary professional ability, in-depth technical knowledge, and uncommon perceptiveness in advancing the morale and welfare needs of his officers, while at the same time meeting all organizational goals and objectives. Charles, I owe you a big thanks for this year. You stepped up to the plate for me personally and took on a nighttime job when you wanted to work in the days, and I can't thank you enough. So I personally feel that this one is very much deserved. Charles has firmly established himself as an outstanding leader whose performance and personal characteristics make him the epitome of what is desired in a supervisor. His exceptional technical competence and supervisory ability are clearly evidenced in the outstanding results he achieves in all task assignments. This last fiscal year, we encountered many challenges, including staffing shortages, equipment malfunctions, additional flights, and screening changes. Also during this time, Charles was the only supervisor assigned to a checkpoint that recorded one of the highest passenger volumes and number of lanes required to be open for the year. Yet in the midst of these trying circumstances, he provided essential mission-ready support throughout the airport. Charles stands out above and beyond all other supervisors for all that he brings to the airport security process and to this organization. And for those reasons, he is our Supervisor and Transportation Security Officer of the Year. Charles, come on. Next is our lead Transportation Security Officer of the Year, and this year it is Karen Davis. I don't have the words. I'm going to try to read some of these. This is a machine. I think she can run checkpoint 2 all by herself during a peak and not have any problems and no wait times. She is on her game. She's a subject matter expert on TSA checkpoint activity. Karen effectively mentors her checkpoint LTSOs and TSOs, sometimes supervisors. She is a seasoned and trusted LTSO who uses her experiences to help her checkpoint make good decisions, including helping them identify potential security threats. She is highly regarded for her strong leadership. Karen uses her excellent communication skills to provide clear direction on how to accomplish both mission and team goals. She models desirable behaviors and always communicates in a playful and positive manner to both employees and stakeholders alike. Karen understands the need for teamwork and is always in communication with her peers and other checkpoints to ensure that mission goals are met. She always ensures that her team is properly briefed on daily intelligence and operational goals, as well as any specialized screening events. So by far, Karen, you know, this is your award. This is your year. Thank you very much. Come on up. Transportation Security Officer of the Year this year, and I'm going to be good, David, I promise. We got it out a little bit this morning. David's retired Navy, I'm a retired Marine, so we got to have that. But David Derby, here's another machine. He bounces around the airport, he'll take on any challenge. If you got somebody that has skill deficits, that was a good way to put it, right? You get them up with David, and that person's going to be locked on in no time. He is just something. He works with our threat mitigation team. He's a coach. He can coach multiple people at a time. There's nothing that we can't ask David to do, and he won't take it on for us, and I really thank you for that. You're always there for me. One day we had a passenger enter the pre-check lane from the standard lane. He immediately reported this violation to the supervisor, who immediately went to check the closed-circuit television to ensure no other unauthorized passengers came through the pre-check lane. And he's just on his game. He's situationally aware and providing top-notch security with great customer service. So David, again, this is you. I appreciate everything you've done for me this year. like to give it back to Andrew now for opening remarks. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. We have a few words from Mr. Kent Ross.
Quite well.
I'm sorry?
Quite well.
Clint, Mr. Clint.
Come on up.
Thank you.
Squeak my way.
Very thankful.
So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Clint Welch. I'm the Director of Aviation Security and Public Safety for the airport authority. And I've been here 25 years. And if you've seen the movie Wedding Crashers, today I'm an awards crasher. And the reason I have to be an awards crasher is because Katie didn't know I was coming up here. Because if she did, she would not let me come. So, it's always bad. No, never. You never know what's going to happen. Well, that's true, you don't. So, we'll go back to, I've seen every FSD come through here. I've seen the FSMs back in the transition from FAA to TSA. And so when I got the dutiful notice that we were getting a new FSD, I was like, oh dear Lord, not another one. And this one's an attorney, no less. So I was like, I wonder how this is going to go down. Well, I would like to say that Katie has under-promised and over-delivered, which is always a good thing. So every month when we come over to TSA, I look and I see the awards that are in the award case there in the lobby. And I was like, man, how do I get in that award case? And my staff is like, boss, you're really going to have to go on a diet. So I took the best alternate route that I could. And for those of you that have been in military service, law enforcement, first responders, etc., which is that community that we live in, we have a way of doing it, which is through a challenge coin. And that represents, obviously, our dedication, our service, and our camaraderie. So, from the Department of Aviation Security and Public Safety, we present you, and quite frankly, all of you, with this challenge coin to be put in your case.
All of you, because this is only can be given to me because of all of your great work that you all do here, and supporting the airport and also supporting our law enforcement and our other stakeholders here. So I couldn't do it without you, and it will be proudly put into the little case that we have as you walk in to see awards, and we'll make a big sign saying came from the airport.
Thank you, everyone, again for attending, and to our partners. And one more round of applause before refreshments for all of our awardees.